Good evening, boys and girls. I'm here today to stream a bit more and proceed with the guilds functionality. So we've been working on guilds since some time now, but I have to admit I didn't work on the code in the last week or so. Also because I've been traveling and I had less time to actually dedicate time to this. So yeah, we're starting this evening. We are starting right now. So here is our mission, and in particular is a mission dedicated to guilds. Guilds is an important part of the game for sure, and is one functionality that we want to port at the moment as it was. Guilds were composed of 4 screens, as you see here, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and there was a first screen dedicated to general settings of the guild, very simply. The second one dedicated to the list of members. Third one managing the permissions, so who can do what in the guild based on their level, because actually the guild is divided in levels. And the last one, which is dedicated to alliances. And so inviting someone to the alliance and things like that. Okay, so because guilds can be allied, and there are some rules behind, like only the leader can invite other leaders to form an alliance. I mean, there is a kind of a rule behind, but yeah, we're gonna follow that pretty much as it is, so I'm not gonna change any of that. And yeah, the last time where we left, we were looking at this command in particular, guild info, which is in the old client popping up the guild window and is populating the majority of the data in the guild window. And so we're going to do the same. You see that this calling this handle subscribe guild data, and this handle subscribe guild data is basically calling a bunch of sub-function, actually 4 sub-function, 1 for each of the screens that I just shown you before, and each one of these functions is sending the data for one screen. Yes. So at the moment I think we implemented only 2. I think this one, which is called send guild data, yes, this one, and probably also the next one, which was send level data. No, not yet. No, not yet. Oh yes, is it receive guild level data? Yes, these 2 implemented already. And these 2, so we are actively calling. Let me see what we did with the other function. Now the other functions are fully commented out at the moment, so those are doing nothing. Okay, but it's already good if we can populate the first 2 screens. I think it's already pretty good. So what we have seen the last time was that this function was actually properly getting the guild name, the guild web page, and if the guild was secret, and the max member points and all of that, and it was sending it out to the client. Okay, so this was working already. Now I don't know exactly why the message of the day is not in this one. Maybe it was added later, or there was, I mean, I don't know why, but probably there is a reason, but I don't understand it. So there is a separate function which is actually sending out the message of the day. It could be a kind of an optimization, because the message of the day can be, I don't know, half a page of stuff, and maybe not everyone wants, I mean, not every time we want to send out this half page of stuff. which makes sense. So I'm reasoning if we should keep it this way or not, because basically the message of the day is never sent, but there is a kind of a button. If you see here in the, if you see here, there is a button that says refresh message of the day, right? And the reason of this button, I think, was only performance wise, because we didn't want to send again the message of the day every time the window is opened up. So that was the idea. I don't know, I don't know if it's still the case, but I mean, to me it makes sense. To me, make kind of sense. So we can leave it as it is, because the other way would be just to add in this method, right? Would be just to add in this method another parameter, which is the message of the day. But this means that every time we open up that window, we are opening up, we are sending the message of the day again and again and again, right? So which is not really great. Okay, so let's do this. Let's start with this. So but the first time, let me just check, because we should send it somehow, right? Or we send it only when we click on refresh. Maybe we send it only when we click on refresh. That's the point. Okay. I mean, it makes sense, but yeah. Okay, so on the client side, let's launch the client side. Let's launch the editor, and let's open up the window for guilds. So the last time, I think we just printed out a message on the screen. That's what we did. But now we have to do a bit more maybe, and just populate the window the proper way and enter the information in the different panels the proper way. Then the graphical format, I think, will be changed heavily here. So it's not something that will stay as it is, you know. Yeah, it will be changed. It will be changed quite a bit, but okay. So here we have actually 4 panels. I think we should change that, because at the moment they are scroll boxes, but I don't think we need scroll boxes really. They were scroll boxes for different reasons, but I think I just need, what do I need? I mean, it's just a panel, so maybe we can change it just with the canvas panel and then show or hide the canvas panel accordingly. Let me see if I do this change and see what happens. It didn't keep the name, unfortunately, but because I don't know if now the code is kind of messed up. Let me see. Yeah, the code is really messed up now, because it is not a variable anymore. Okay, so what happened is that I changed the type, but I think it's good anyway. It's something we have to do. So we will call it panel settings, and let me just understand if that's the right way to do it, but I think so. Why so big? Why this thing is so big? Why starts from the left here? See, this usually starts outside a window. Anyway, this has to become a variable. Can I move it? No. You see that it's kind of at the left of our window. I don't know exactly why, but it's like if it's okay. But anyway, okay. So let's leave it like that for now. So yeah, there are a few places where this is not working anymore, and obviously the reason is that we have this problem. And to populate panel, so all of this, let me just check if all of this stays the same. No, it doesn't. So I think all this code that we had, because we copy pasted this window from another window, and so hello Zwei, welcome. We copy pasted this window from another one, and there is the reason why you see that there is a lot of code that is not related. It's related to skills because we actually copied it from the skill window. So what we will need to do, I'm just checking if this is actually showing the right panel or not. Set scrollable setting as active panel. Okay. Active panel, we should change the type though, because this one should be a canvas panel. This will break few things, obviously. Yeah. So we have to take this one, connect it here, remove the scrollable settings, which has no sense anymore. So as a default, it goes on the first panel. That is in the construct, right? Which I think is fine. Then this request skill abilities is absolutely not needed anymore, and this is not needed anymore. How did we do that? No, we did it only through the slash guild info, right? So we do it, yeah. So the request was only going through that. Now, I think of all of this code, it was coming from the old one. I mean, I'm fine setting this variable here, and I'm fine setting this. I'm kind of okay with this. I'm kind of okay with this, but then from here down, it doesn't make any sense for us anymore. Also, this one, I think we do it directly when we initialize the window, and so I think is not needed really. This I think is not needed, not needed, not needed. The only thing that we may keep is the fact that the active panel is the settings panel. That is probably the only thing that we want to keep, but all of this, I mean, I can keep it here for a second, but I think it's not needed anymore. Now, the problem is that when we receive the guild info, I think we should show the window first of all, right? And to show the window, so I think that to show the window, we should use, I think we can get it from, let me see, can we do it from inside the window itself, or this is getting messy? It should be okay, but I think we have a way to force the visualization of the window. Now I just have to find a place where we do it. Yes, like this. WT container, canvas array, get blah blah blah, set visibility. So that is setting the visibility to false. I would like to get one where we are setting the visibility to true. So I need to search where canvas array is used, right? I think I need canvas array. Let me see if I can search canvas array and see. Okay. I need a get canvas array. But I need something that is outside the WD container. I think there are other places where we do this. I think there are other places. There are only places where we hide the window, not places where we show the window. But I think it should be the same. It should be set visibility visible. Now I just wanted to be sure, but I see unfortunately that here we don't have any other things. No. Set visibility collapsed. Okay, show windows. So here is how it does it. You set the visibility to set hit self hit test invisible. Okay, so basically means that yeah, that you cannot click on it, but it just goes through. Hello. You're saying the audio is very noisy? Audio is very noisy. Okay, 1 second. Let me check. Audio is very noisy. Really? Let me try to listen to myself for a second. Yeah, there is a bit of a background noise. There's a bit of a background noise. I don't know exactly how Windows. Sometimes Windows is good at that. Sometimes it's not. Let me try to see if I can fix it. Microphone. It's not this one though. Does it see it as a real tag? Why it sees it as a real tag? It should not. It should see it as my headset actually. Noise suppression is not enabled, so I can try to turn it on and see if noise suppression is helping. There are two problems. One is that is not seeing it as my headset, but is seeing it as just a generic Realtek device. Is it any better now that I enabled the noise suppression? I can listen to myself. It's always a good thing. I can listen to myself. It's always a good thing. Yeah, it sounds much better. It's always a good thing. Okay. The background noise is gone. Okay, thank you. So yeah, there is this Windows settings that sometimes get unflagged. I don't know for whatever reason, but is I don't know why it's not on by default always, right? So maybe you want to record background noise sometimes. I have no idea, but it looks like sometimes you want to get the background noise as well. Okay, now it should be better. Okay, nice. Yeah, these are still the pieces that are coming from when my PC crashed and I had to reinstall everything. And this is another piece that probably didn't go into place. And so we have fixed it now. Okay, so I think that what we need to do, we need to just set the visibility and then set the fact that the window is visible in our target array, right? So I think that is pretty much what we need to do to just force the window to show. So let me try to do that. So in this case will be number. A good question. Which freaking number is this window? To find out which number is this window, we can just look at WT container in the event graph and like in the base event construct. Yes, like somewhere here. Yes, it is here. Canvas guild number 21. Okay, so it's number 21. So we need to put 21 here. Yeah, I know it's a bit hard coded, but it's okay. It's not too much of a problem to me. And we need to get also, need to get canvas array from player controller. No, from the character blueprint actually. Okay, so we need to get it from character blueprint, and character blueprint I think we can get kind of easily if we do this. Okay, so I think we need a bit more space here because otherwise things are getting messy. Let me try to move this down if we can, and all of this down as well. Okay, so we have some space now. This tree will have to be implemented later on, but so the idea is that we plug into this get21 the canvas array. In this canvas array we get it from player character and in particular from the player blueprint. And so actually the sequence is something like this, right? Yeah, which is a bit of a convoluted way, but it's okay. So we basically go on the player character. From the player character we get our array for the windows, and from the array of the windows we just get the number 21, and then on this one we set the visibility to true, and we also inform on our WD container is window visible. This one we want to set it as true so that our WD container knows that this window is now actually visible and the number is still 21 exactly as it was before, and the item is true. Okay, it's a bit of a convoluted way to do what we need to do, but I think it's fine for now. Then now, so with this basically we force the window to become visible in case it's not. If it's visible already, nothing will happen, so I think we'll be okay, but the data will be populated again. So what we want to do, we want to ensure that we get this data and we put it into the window, right? Now, should we remove this old code? Because all this code I think we don't need at all, right? I think we should just remove it. I think we should just remove it because it's all the one that is copy pasted from the skill window, and actually we don't care about it. So let's just remove it. Also this one, set player skills. All of this is all stuff that was done for the skill window. Okay, this one is the only one that we need because it's the one that is actually switching between one panel and the other. Okay, so it's the one that is switching panels. And so this one I think we want. I don't know where there is this clicked panel, exactly where this clicked panel, where it is coming from. Ah, it's coming from here, alright, okay. Okay, it's coming here with an ID. It's coming here with an ID. I don't think we need this ID anymore. Because we know where we are based on the tab that we click. So settings, members, permission, and alliance. So we have this this four thingies. And I think it's I don't think we need this ID anymore. Now the point is to be sure that our panel is properly displayed. So I have to change. So let's go the other side. So I have to change all this with the proper panels, right? So we have 4 panels. Scroll boxes we don't need anymore. So I will do a replace with canvas, and the canvas we will call it panel members, and then this one I will do the same, and I will call it panel permissions, and then the last one is panel alliance, right? Panel alliance. Okay, so now we have all of this. I don't know exactly what is this. This was an overlay, number line. This thing is not needed anymore. We can completely remove it. And progression points. Okay, we can leave it for now, but it's not needed. And here we have our selectors, which are basically the tab that when we click, they tell us where to go. Okay, all these panels have to become variables because we actually have to interact with those panels somehow, because we have to switch them on and off. So we have to switch the visibility on and off for them. And so all of those now, yes, will be an error, and it's okay. So clicked panel should become a canvas panel. Yes, change the variable type. I don't care. I know. And here what we should do, we should just get all our panel like alliance, member, permission, and settings, and just change them to these ones which were the old ones. Okay, so like this scroll box settings doesn't exist anymore, and we just use this and we set it here. I don't like the fact that it's so cramped in space. I don't know why this thing is so tight, you know. Why? I mean, there is no problem. So here is members. So here is members. Here is members. Here is permissions. And here is alliances. Okay. This one can go away because it's good. Yeah, copy pasting the window on one side is good. On the other side is causing us to do quite a bit of tweaking, manual tweaking, to actually go back to the right place. Okay, so there is the part where it basically is switching between the different panels, and the active panel will go here, this will go here, so it's just checking that the active panel is equal to the clicked panel, and if true, then it no, if it's false, then it switches. If it's true, it means that the panel is already up, and so if it's false, then we need to actually set the visibility of our active panel. So what we do, just delete this, right? So we say active panel set visibility collapsed, and clicked panel. Okay, now I understand why it was using two variables. And clicked panel set visibility to visible, and clicked panel becomes the active panel, right? Okay, good. So I think this piece of code is good. Is something that we need and may work as it is. Now up here, what we need to do, we need now to create some labels in our panel so that those can be displayed properly in the window with the information. So we want to mimic what we have in this window, right? And okay, we already have the 4 tabs at the top. Fine. Now what we need is this part, which is the message of the day. Now the only problem I have is, should I model these panels separately? Probably is better, right? Because otherwise I will have to see, inside this window 4 panels, which is very, very annoying. I could make them widgets. I mean, I could make 4 widgets and then just call these 4 widgets inside of this. What do you think? The problem is that I will have to change the code again. Because then this will not be panels anymore, will be widgets. Because my issue is that if I want to put something inside of this, so for example, I need to have my text box inside of this. It's very hard to edit, you see, because it's freaking can I? Yeah, I think I can. I can turn off the other panels, so I can work only on this one. Okay, that is a bit better. And something is coming in front of this overlay progression point text. Now this one should go before. Can I move it before? No, I cannot. It seems that I cannot. Scroll box horizontal. Ouch, I think I did something bad. Cannot move it. Why I cannot move this thing? Because it's inside a grid. Okay, because it's inside a grid probably. And so the grid is managing its things one by one. So we have a scroll box horizontal. I don't think we need this scroll box, by the way, because everything was made to be scrollable in that particular window, because skills can be so many, and so we had everything with a scroll box. But now I don't think we need this anymore, actually. Let me see what happens if I remove this scroll box, okay? If everything goes crazy or not. So in my grid I have overlay progression points. Tab selector is fine. So this one at the top is the only one that I actually need, right? is the only one that I actually need. This one at the bottom, I don't need at all. This one is fine. Now from here down, overlay vertical scroll boxes. I don't always go like this, but I think it's okay. The name is not an issue. For some reason it's upside down. What the hell? Do you see that the text is kind of upside down? Text block is written in the opposite way. Is there any reason why this is? But actually, I don't think I care. I think I can move. Let me see what happens if I move this at the same level of this. Okay, so I have my panel. I think it's much better. I have my panel here. And at the moment, isn't there a position? When you are inside the grid box, I remember that you have a kind of a position, right? Column, yeah, column and row, so it's 0, 0. So it's exactly, yeah, one is on top of the other, which is fine with me, because anyway, they will be displayed. Oops, I think I misplaced it. They will be placed, I mean, they will be visible only. So, what is it? This image spacer. What is this image spacer? Panel settings. So the only thing I need to say is that this one is 0, 0. This one should be row 1, right? So it should go down 1. Yeah, exactly. And all the others should be the same. Should be in row 1, row 1, row 1, and row 1. So all my panels stay in row 1. I would like to have someone design this UI instead of me. But anyway. Now I think that the panel is taking only the space of the content. Yes, exactly. So that's why we see this as a bit small, but it's fine. It's totally fine. Because we have these text blocks inside. I think it's okay. So now what do we need? So we need our text block will be at the moment will be something like this. So guild message of the day, a short message. So this will be the text. Guild message of the day, and this one will have to be way smaller than this. I mean, this is like overkill. It's too big. Where is the font, my friends? I cannot see it. I cannot see it because I have to click on the text. Okay, see it. 24, too much. 16, more than enough. Okay. So with the guild message of the day, then after that we will have our text panel, right? And this text panel will be the texty guild message of the day. Okay. And this one will have to be a bit bigger, I guess, and will also have to be. Can I move it? Why I cannot move stuff? It's because my. It's because the grid is like messing up with me. Panel settings. Do I need an overlay to be sure that do I need an overlay in between for having this to work properly? Seems like I cannot put an overlay inside a grid. The problem is that if I put this here and I put this like here, can I move this thing around as I want or not? It's taking the maximum space of the container. He's taking the maximum space of the container. Which on one side is okay, is what I need, but if I then try to move my, you see, I cannot drag it. Whatever I drag something else. It's like if my other panels are getting into the way. Let me try to hide them all and see if I can now move it properly. No. I always take the grid main. Okay, now I can move it. Okay, now that I made it hidden, I think here from this small visibility button, now I can move it as I want. Okay, seems better. Okay, seems better. Seems I can finally edit my page now. Okay, so this will be the guild message of the day. It will be there in the middle. Then what we need these two buttons, which are refresh message of the day and save message of the day. Okay, we can put that. In terms of buttons, at the moment, I don't know if we should use just the standard one, because actually we have our own button definition, but for now I would like to use those, and then we will see. We will change them later, I guess. Can I have some text on it, or should I put an image? Should I put a text on top of it? I think I should put a text on top of it, huh? I remember there was this thing. It's not great, but it's okay. So I can say maybe it's kind of 12, and it is like refresh message of the day, and the other one is save message of the day. Okay. And again, I really hope someone else will then completely redesign this UI. Okay, so my point is not at the moment designing a nice UI. My point is designing a UI that has all the functionality we need, and then someone else smarter than me in graphics will just remake it, you know. And I mean, not remake it, but let's say just change the graphical look of it so that it is nicer to see and everything. Okay, so this will become button save message of the day, and the text will be save message of the day. Okay, nice. And this button will go here. Okay, so we have the two buttons, and we have the text. Okay, so what else we need? So in our window there was a name, a website, and the fact if the guild is secret or not. Okay, and it was giving you the ability to change all of that. So I think we can have another text here. I think we can use the same font size, which I think is 16. Yeah, 16. And we can call it like name, and the name of your guild will be just here, and this one will be another text, I guess. Yes, will be another text, 16, and will be empty to start with. And yeah, when it's empty is a bit of a trick to actually, but anyway. And this one will be txt guild name, right? And it will be a variable because we need to be able to write into that. I think the same. This one is available. Okay, it's available automatically. Okay, here will be the name. Then I think we can copy paste these two things. Copy paste, and we can have txt. Oh no, this one I don't care. This one can be named whatever. What I care is the second one. So this two will go down here, and one will be named website. And then maybe in the future we can just have it clickable, right? Yeah, I think it would be nice to have the website you can click and can just jump on the page, actually, on the web page. So let me just make it a bit longer because the name, I think it can be pretty long. And so this will be website. Okay. And I don't know if we can make them the same sites. Name a website. The website, this we can call it txt website, and we can make it a variable as well. Okay, so we have these two variables, the name, the website. Now we need to say if this website, if this guild is secret or not. So we need a checkbox, and this checkbox will have is secret as a text. I don't know if I have to add it also in this case, but probably yes. Yes, I need to add it as well. So this one will also be 16. Now we need to decide if 16 is good, but let's assume it is. And this text box will say secret. Let's say secret guild. So if it's a secret guild, this one will be called check secret guild. Okay, and this also will be a variable. Okay, I think it's good. We can save it. It's compiling. It's taking a lot of time to compile for whatever reason. Okay, it did it. So we can save it. So now that's it. No, we need to have also the buttons to change the name and change the website. So or we do it just with a kind of a double click. If not, we need a button here which says change. I think we can have a small button here which is called change, right? And I think we can have it pretty small, and this will be button change name. And then we need another one which is identical, which will be button change website. Okay, and this one goes down here. Okay, then the font, the colors, I don't know, we will, I mean, yeah, the color is a bit annoying. I mean, it's white on like, if we do it black, I don't know, we will find a nice color. Maybe it is not a nice color. We will find, someone will find a nice color for me, I guess. Kind of a golden one. No, golden is absolutely invisible. Okay, anyway, I think we will make it, maybe we'll keep it black. For now, it'll just be black. And again, someone will make it nicer. Okay. Okay, so we have that. This pretty much mimics the old window. right? Yes, I think it does. So it mimics the old window in terms of information, and the good news is that this information we already have. So what we need to do in the blueprint is just after this is popping up, we need to set the text for all that stuff. So we will get our txt guild name, our txt no message of the day, no, our txt website, and our check sacred guild. Okay, so these are the three variables we need to set. And now the question is how we want to set them. Well, pretty easy, because guild name is here, so we just need to do a set text for this, and a set text also for this. So we connect all the dots, and the text coming in. So for guild name is this. For web page is this. And for secret, actually I don't know what is the function to set it, but set checked state. Yes, exactly. I think it's this one, right? And this will be our boolean. I hope we can put a boolean here now. Really? I cannot put a boolean here? True or false, if it's checked or not checked. I have to pass in a kind of a type, which is checked or unchecked. Holy moly. Really? Set content. Isn't there a simpler way to just get checked state? Is checked, returns the value is checked. Set checked state is the one that I just selected. Set is checked. Okay, here it is. Set is checked. Much better, boys. So we can have our boolean going in. Okay. Way better. Okay. And the red color is not very visible, but it's okay. So whenever we issue that command, we pop up the window and we set this text, including a secret guild. Now the message of the day will be something that you have to explicitly click to get. No, this is not useful anymore. Now all these IDs, I don't know exactly what they are. Set ID 0. This is something that we were doing before, and now I think it makes no sense anymore. What is this max member points? Max member points. No idea. Anyway. Okay, so let's just test this and see if at least up to this point it works okay, right? I think I can just close the editor. I don't need to keep it open, right? Yeah, I think it's okay. Close the editor and I launch. I don't have to recompile anything because that piece was working already, so I just need to launch the server and the client and just issue /guildinfo and see if the Windows pops up first of all, and if the data is populated into the window or not. So we want to issue a /guild info and see what happens. Okay. He's saying it's not supported by the server. I mean, why it was working before? /guild info. I think there is some issue here. Attempted to set an invalid index on array. B window is visible 21 out of 19. Okay. I think it may be the save game, the save layout. The save layout, because sometimes, I mean not sometimes, always we are saving under I think under save games we are saving this layout. This layout may still have the old layout, which doesn't include the new window, and consider it doesn't include a new window. It may, when you try to load up the window, it may mess up because it doesn't see that that window actually exists. Right? Let me see if it's that. Sometimes I encounter that error, and all the time I kind of get confused about it. Let's just see if in the log of the client, which is this one, we get this error again or not. No, at the moment, no, but okay. Guild info, well, I spelled it wrong, so that's why. No, if I issue guild info, is actually giving an error saying that accessor known trying to read property called function array get item when guild. Okay, I know where it is, but receive guild data on client. I know what it is, but why I didn't connect some? Maybe I didn't connect something. Seems there are some missing connection. I mean, it's basically not getting the window array. It's like if the window array is not available. It's like if this thing is not returning anything. Receive guild info. Let me just check the error that we had in the log. So the error that we had in the log was inside receive guild info. Yes. Coming from receive guild data on client. So we actually got the message properly sent by the server to the client. So this one is properly getting called. This one is also probably getting called, right? So we arrived there. So to receive guild info. Then when we are inside the graph of win guild, which is basically this graph, right? Inside the receive guild info, so inside this function, so here, exactly here, we are failing. We are failing when trying to get the array get item. So we are failing on this node here. Is it connected properly? I think it is. Sorry, are we on client or on server, boys? No, we are on client because this is already executing on owning client. Okay. Then it's going here, is entering here, and why get player character 0 is invalid? This is very weird. It's impossible that this is invalid. I mean, I get the container. In the container, I get the canvas array. And from the canvas array, I get the number 21. So the only point is that it could be that index 21 is not valid. But index 21, we double checked it before, right? And index 21 is actually, what is it? Is actually here. It's connected. So this is the canvas array that we are trying to access. That is this array. And this array is made of all these nice numbers. I assume the get is keeping this number 21, right? And this one is constructed before everything. So we have the, oh, it's pretty weird. This get is not working. I don't understand it. Don't understand why this get is not working. I mean, we can put some printfs and just print out like if the canvas array is actually proper or not. Can we get a count for the length? Can we print out the length of this? Yes, we can. Let's print out just the length of this one and understand. So let's say canvas array length. There is something fishy going on here. Something fishy going on. Okay. Let me try to restart it, but I've seen sometimes when you copy paste piece of blueprints, sometimes it mess up. So you have to basically redo it like I did it now. So you have to go there and redo it just to be sure that it gets the pieces. It's kind of strange though, but it's okay. Okay. So let me see if now, at least now we have this debug message, right? When I type slash guild info, yes, or whatever it is, canvas length 22. So if canvas length is 22, why has a problem in get item? I don't understand this. By the way, it's weird that it says group command guild info is not supported by the server. Why is saying this? In theory, I mean, he accepted the command, so he should not say that. Let me check. It should be returning true from this handle command message. And so in our player controller, if it's true, then it should return. It says command not recognized. No, but this is not the message that we are giving. The message we are giving is give command, group command. Group command is not because okay, understand where we have the issue. This code is still a bit old, and so it still has at the bottom this. Okay, this is not needed anymore. In the same way, I think we already removed it also from user, right? Yes. We don't do any checking there. We should just return false and not return this in both cases, for guild manager, for group manager. I think we should have something like that here under the execute command. When we check this, and this. Yeah, exactly, which is here. Command not recognized. Okay, so in case all of them fail, then we issue the command not recognized. Which I think is kind of already the case if I type just a random message. Yes, not register a command, not register an admin command, yes. Even if here also, I think here also we have also this one we should remove. We don't want to give the error here, we want to give the error down there. Okay, fine, but anyway, this is not solving our problem though. Why we have this error that it cannot access the get item function, or maybe the get item is actually empty. Man, I don't get it. I don't get it. So if in WG container we are setting this canvas to this canvas guild, okay, which is this one, and we are setting it to 21, and this canvas guild is actually associated to something, because I guess that here somewhere we have canvas guild, right? Don't know where is it, but it should be here. Do you see it? I don't see it. Canvas. Canvas Guild. Canvas Guild, there it is. Canvas Guild, okay. Can I put them in a sequence like no. Canvas Guild is here. Canvas Guild is here. I just was not seeing it here, but probably is there. I'm just blind. I'm just blind. So chat, character quest, shortcut, stat map, menu bar, group, friends, settings, interact, change, skill, merchant, NPC dialogue, error, item list, container, chart, banking, spellbook, spell set. No, it's not here. How is it possible? What the hell? So we created a variable, but we didn't actually get it from. Okay. I think I messed up. I think what I had to do, I had to create a new panel here. So if I add a new canvas panel here, and this new canvas panel, I call it canvas guild, and this one I make a variable, and at this point I have it like here. So this is probably why I was complaining, by the way. And now that I have it here, I can see it again in my variables list. Yes, and you see that now is locked, so that I cannot change the name of the variable, I cannot change the variable type. It is because it's connected to, so yeah, I was basically an empty variable. So that's why it was messing up, I think. Okay, good. So we found a mistake. So now it should not give that problem anymore. Let's see. Okay, so let me just recompile because we did some changes, and I want to get the right version. I want to get the right version of the code, so we don't give that say misleading error anymore. Okay, so succeeded. We can launch the server and the client. And test it again. So yeah, I created a variable the wrong way. So you should not create a variable. You should create a canvas inside our W container and make it a variable. Otherwise, it was just empty the whole time. Okay, so it's a bit small for you, I guess. You cannot see anything, right? Can make it bigger. So this is our chat window. down here. So what I type slash guild info yes, for example. There it is. Nice. Okay, so it popped up. The window popped up as expected. And we got our name of the guild, our website of the guild, and we also got if it's a secret guild or not, right? We have our buttons for change, for save, for refresh, which now are doing anything, not doing anything, but it's okay. So we have our 4 tabs here at the top. Let's see what happens if I switch. Actually, it seems to work okay. I can switch between settings and member and permission. No. I can switch one time, then it's GG. Something bad happened. Yeah, the first time I clicked, it seems that it was working, but now the second time I click, it's not working anymore. Okay. Also see if I issue the command again, it's not popping up the window. So it seems it works only the first time. I don't know why, but it seems it works only the first time. Let me see if I put a command that doesn't exist. I think our server crashed. That's the problem why the window is not popping up anymore. Let me see why it crashed. I think our server got something invalid. It crashed in this function, handle admin command message at line 4718. At line 4718. My bad. Yes, I commented it out, but actually I should not comment it out. I should just have removed this and this, and I should return false. Oops, false instead. So we don't want to send this message, but we want to, we want to just return, But still, it was not popping up the second time because there is an error when I provided an invalid command, but the window was not popping up the second time. For some reason. Why should not pop up the second time? Because we are receiving this message. We are receiving this message. We are going into guild manager. We are receiving this. We are getting this one because I think there was a check. Check if you're in a guild. Check if already subscribed. That is the problem, I guess. Yeah, so the old code was working a bit different than what we need to work it in the new way. So basically we are exiting here the second time. We are exiting here, so yep. We should at least pop up the window though. So I think we are popping up the window kind of in the wrong place. We should decide where to pop it up because at the moment we are popping it up inside send guild data. but it's not really the best place. Not really. I mean, it's okay for our test, you know. I mean, it was okay to test that the information was going through, but I mean, it's not the way we should do it. The visibility of the window, I think, should come up anyway. I mean, at the moment, what we are doing, we are displaying the window here. But it's a pretty bad idea. I mean, it's okay for our test, but it's not the optimal place because this receive guild info is done only the first time, and only if we are, yeah, only if the information has not been changed. You know, if the information changed, it's gonna to send it to us again, but information that didn't change is assuming that we are just opening the window from the client side. Yeah, that's the point. So I think what we can do, we can. Where are we calling this? We are calling. The problem is that we are calling it only through the command in this case. We are calling it only through the command. So slash guild info. So on the client side, we're actually not detecting this unless we do something inside of this. You know what? I think what we should do, we should here we should send a message just to open the window. Just a message to open the window. And then here we send the data inside that window. I think that's probably the simplest way. By the way, I don't know if I really like the fact that we are popping up a window on screen by a command, you know. So I don't know if that's really great that we are using that to pop up the window. So yeah, so here I think that here what we should do, we should ask the client to open the guild window. Now, do we need a message to do that? Yes, unfortunately we do. Should we have a generic message for all the windows that we just sent through, and is on player controller, and is just opening it up no matter what? We just give the window handler. Instead of making one just for the guild window, we can make one that is generic for every window. The question is, are we gonna specify, because I don't want to code 21. It's so annoying to code 21. I mean, I can, but having like open window 21 sounds so bad. So much spaghetti code. You know, the problem is that we have the window ID. We have the window. The problem is that those window ID is actually here inside EPS window, and is set in enumeration in the blueprint, so you cannot see it by the C++. Unless you make this a C++ class also visible from the blueprints. So that's the problem. That's the problem, because it's here, like the guild window is here. Are we passing a string like guild and then we just say that if guild, then open to anyone, but it's fucking shit again. I don't like that as well too much. Maybe it's better. I mean, it's definitely better maybe, so I don't have to hard code anything, but and so it means that I will have a generic function on my PS character, and this generics function will take, so it will be here somewhere, I don't know exactly where, but it will be somewhere here in PS character. Because my W container is on PS character, right? Yes. W container is on my PS character. By the way, I have no idea why it's on PS character and not in Planeship player controller. And why we decided to put it on the character. Not that it makes a big difference, but it's just to say, I mean, it's just a bit weird that it stays here. Because all the other Windows pointers, I think all the other Windows pointers are on Planeship player controller. You see all these www, you know, win quest, win system exchange, win. So they're all here. There's also this W container ref, by the way. Is this even used? Actually, this is used. Is this ever set? Yes, it is set. W container. Yeah, we're actually using two at the moment. We are using one in player controller and one in Planeship in PS character, which is a bit of an inconsistency. I think we should use only one. I don't know if I want to refactor it now, but it's something that we will have to do. I mean, it makes no sense to me to keep two pointers, you know, one here and one there. I don't know why really. The problem is, I think if I search for this one, I find 1 million. Yeah, look at that, boys. It's in all these places. Well, let's say that I can start from my window. I can start to remove it one by one, and just to ensure that I'm not using this anymore, because I think it's better if we keep it on the other side. So let me change this, and let me do a get player controller, and let me cast it to Planeship player controller base, and Planeship player controller, not base. Well, it's the same anyway, because okay, so I will remove this one, the get player character, and the cast to character BP, so that we use, instead of using W container, we use W container ref, which is actually the one on player controller, and we keep it there. All the same stays the same. All the rest stays the same. So all the rest stays exactly the same. And we should start to remove it from all the other windows, because I think is a bad idea to keep our player controller. This printf we don't need anymore because now it's working, so I think I can just cut it off. Just cut off all of this. Okay, good. I think I will do this, and I've seen that there are also a few other occurrences. Well, there are quite a number of occurrences, but I think we can change them one by one as we go. We should just remember that we don't want the W container on PS character, but we want the other W container. Let me search it. Let me search it again. I think it's in few places. Well, it's in quite few places. But for example, now we removed it from win loot, for example. Win loot also we can change it. This is only one place, and win spellbook also is only one place. So these two windows, I think we can remove it easy. Yeah, so we cast it to Planeship player controller. It is a bit risky because we are changing something that we did quite some time ago, and we will have to test it again. But if I container ref, this one goes here, and this one goes also here, right? So this should be exactly as it was. Should give no problems. And the other one was loot, yeah, which is exactly the same. So we can just copy this piece, I guess, which we substitute to this piece, and our container ref just goes here, and 1, 2, and 3 can go away. Yeah, I hope I don't mess up, but should be fine. Should be fine. Okay, so we changed it here as well. Now, the other places are more complex to change because they're a bit more invasive on the code. But you see now we removed it from like 3 windows. There is also this win exchange. This win exchange. Can we remove it from here as well? Win exchange. If trading with NPC, just close the window. Yeah, it's basically... I think we can do the same. I think we can remove it from here as well. Let me just copy this 3. So I think we do it on all, and fuck it. So it's done. And so it's done, boys. I just have to be very careful of not messing up. But this one goes here. This one goes here, and this one then can be removed. So let me see if this is valid though. This is where we mess up, huh? I guess. Okay, it should be one to one to what it was before, but I hope so. I hope it's exactly as it was. We should remove this variable completely because it's just messing up. It's just messing up. It's always on the controller. I mean, it should never be, unless there is a reason why. But when we are dealing with the windows, we are always going through a player controller anyway. So because it must be a player, right? It must be a player. So I think, yeah. I don't know. We should test again. If someone of you wants to, when I check in this stuff, just test it again. We should test exchange, loot, spellbook, and just ensure that they work as they were working before. Because actually, I did some changes, and yeah, and we should ensure that they still work properly. So we removed it from all those windows. Now there is still one place in Win Exchange actually. Yes, yeah. There is another place here in which we should do exactly the same. Okay. Okay. A bit scared of doing this changing on the fly while I'm not working on this particular window, but it's okay. So now, which places are remaining? We have chat bubble. We have a lot on Win Interact UI. I don't know why we have so many Win Interact UI. Why we have so many? Construct. Well, actually, here is where we are setting it. So this is the set of the W container ref. What is this? Okay. So here we are setting it even. We are setting the same variable in the Interact UI window. Probably because then we are using it a lot and we don't want to. No, but then we are getting the other one anyway. So. It's a bit stupid. We are setting it on this window and then we are going to the player controller again to get the same variable. So it's a bit messy. I would like to remove it from here as well. I think it should be removed. I think it should be removed. This one, then there is what? There is chat bubble, which is using it as well. It's just showing the window. Yeah, it's all the functions that are just showing windows. So it's not, let's say, particularly exciting. It's just kind of basic stuff. So basically, instead of using this W container, we could use, which we are getting from player character anyway. So we could use this one will have to be rearranged a bit. So we could do this, and instead of going there, we go here, right? Here we get our container ref, And our container ref at this point is going here and here. This one disappears, and this one is the one used. This one goes here, and let me say this one is not needed anymore, so because otherwise we do it 2 times. And this one is going here. Ah. Do you think I'm making any mistakes, or do you think I'm fine? Changing code that was already running, already working is a bit scary, but okay. I think we're gonna keep it. Okay. So, what's this? Okay. So we changed it here as well. Yeah, we have to check out a bunch of stuff actually. And there was another place in here, right? That was using it. In chat bubbles, yes, there is another place here which is just hiding the window. Which window is hiding, by the way? Number 9, exchange window. So it is hide exchange window. I think we should make a function, by the way, because it's a bit. I mean, all the time we are doing the same thing. We are going through this, and I don't know if it's a great idea. By the way, here we already have the player controller, so we can just get the container ref. And oops, I did something I didn't want to do. Okay, and here we go through this and through this, and this one is not needed anymore, I guess. And this one just goes here. Okay. Yeah, it's also simpler because we already get the player controller on the other side. So. Something like that. It's even more compact, so it's even better to. I mean, it's more readable. My point of view. Okay. Did I connect everything? Yeah, I connected this to this, this to this, this to this. Okay, fine. Okay, so now that variable should be only in very few places. So it's still everywhere in the Interact UI, but this one I don't want to change at the moment. Is still a lot in character blueprint because this is where we are setting this variable, and it's still somehow. Why is in player controller, by the way? It is so stupid. I'm just thinking if that particular character is no, but I think no. I think that when you are doing anyway player index 0 is anyway getting on the client the current player, the current, so the player that is actually owning that client. So I think it's exactly the same if you do player pawn or player character, right? I think it's a player controller. It's exactly the same in this case because we are already inside player controller. So the question is why the hell we should call this to go to the container while we already have our W container ref here. We already have it available. Is this one, and this one can just go here. You see, and I don't need any of that. And I can just do this. I don't know why I was doing that. I mean, why I was there is probably a reason, so I will have maybe to backtrack and do it differently. I hope not, but I'm surprised that we were using the container ref on the pawn instead of the container ref on the player controller, considering that anyway we are on the client. Here we are on the owning client. This event is called on the owning client, so there should be no problem with this. It should be fine, but for some reason I think there is also another place where we are using this. Still in plain sheet player controller. And there is one other place, which is actually here is the same thing, exactly the same, for just to get the window. I think there's a lot of copy paste. I mean, there is a lot of copy paste between the different windows, and that's the only reason I think why we have this problem. Because here is the same, I should put it here and here, and we don't need any more these three, and we just connect it like this, and it should be fine. And it should be fine. Okay, so now I removed it in basically all the places, all the non-critical places. We still have it on character blueprint, okay, because it's the place where it is defined, and so it makes sense that he's using it, and it's local to player blueprints. Okay, fine. And in all the interact, I think we should remove it also from this one. Maybe not now, but we should remove it also from all these places. And then at the end, ultimately, we should remove it also from character blueprint. But I mean, in all these places, get W container ref. You see here, for example, we are using it. Here 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 we are using it, but still in other places we are not using it. Here we take the one from the character blueprint and we set it into I think I would like to remove this one. So if I remove it from here, I think then I'm fine, because Yeah, let me remove it from here for a second, because here is not really needed. Okay, so we remove it from here, and we still keep it like this, okay? So basically the interact UI has its own pointer to W container ref. Okay, fine. I mean, if for sake of simplicity, he wants to keep a local copy, to me it's fine, because anyway, that variable will never change across one gaming session, so it always stays the same. So to me it's fine if he wants to set it, but when set, then what I really don't like is that is then trying to use the other variable and not this one. This one is done in the event construct, so when the window is created, so there is no way that is not set later on. And for some reason though, if you look here, there are a number of places still in interact window UI, basically in all the functions, where we do this again, instead of just using the variable that we have set, which is this one. So I don't know why, but it's what we do. So we should just use this variable and do nothing else. We don't need this call anymore. We don't need that call. We don't need that call. Yeah, because we have it as a variable, and the same I think in all the others. Is in a number of places that is used the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and basically all the functions there is the same thing. Yeah, you see. This piece, by the way, is not connected. What is this piece? Exchange interaction UI. Get player character starts exchange message. All of this is not connected. All this stuff. Why all this stuff is not connected anymore? And probably because we did it differently. Huh? This seems to be old code that is left over from clear gives lot. Let me see where this is used, because maybe we did it in another place. Not too much. Win exchange. But anyway, that piece of code is not called, so I think we can remove it without too many issues. It is old stuff. Let me remove it. I don't want to leave code that is not connected. We are not working on the exchange functionality since a long time, so if that code is not connected, I think it's fine. You can remove it. So there are still a few, like this one, exactly the same. We just get our reference controller and just go like this. Nice. And I think there is one last one or two, no, two more, I think. Two more. So banking and looting. So banking, exactly the same pattern. So yeah, we basically created this variable and then we never used it. If there is a reason for it, we will discover it very soon. The next round of tests, we will discover it. And then the last one Okay, the last one is here. Okay, much better. I like it much more. So now we basically only have two variables. No, actually three. Three variables set. One is on the interact UI. One is on player controller and the other is on character blueprint. But basically, everywhere in the code we are using the one on player controller. So we should now, you see, it's only here remaining. It's only here remaining. So we should see if it really makes sense for us to keep this variable here or not. To me, not. So we should maybe remove it, but I don't want to remove it now from character blueprint because it's too much of a change. I don't want to do two changes at the same time and then, you know, mess up. So I think I will keep it. I think I will keep it here for now. Okay, so maybe we should do a small round of tests because we did a lot of changes and I want to see if what I did is impacting, you know, is impacting our functionality. If at least the interact UI still comes up and I can, I don't know, pick up items, drop items and everything else. What is this sound? What's a weird sound? Okay. Is starting. Okay. So let me see if I go. Yeah, so the character is kind of in this weird position, but that's the way it is. Let me just drop. Let me just drop something like a battle axe and see if I right click on it. I get my interaction UI, and if I pick it up, yes, okay. It is working okay, so the functionality is still there. The only thing I see is that it's not closing the window. It's closing the window only when I exit from it. So it seems that in our interact UI, when I click on a button, when I click, like for example, when I click on pickup, it seems it's not closing the window. Was it like this already, or? No. It feels weird that it doesn't close the window. Let me see if it's the same on characters. Yeah, we need to have this guy walk again, I know. Yeah, it's not closing the window. Fuck it. The speak is working, but There was a reason? You think there was a reason then? Why we were doing it with the other variable? Correct. There was a reason? Okay. Let me think. Well, let me think of why. So we are clicking, for example, for the bank interaction. Okay. So from the bank interaction, what we do, we get the, so we have the banking interaction UI. We get our container ref. And we get the show window number 17. And our target is the container ref, which is set on banking interaction UI. But sorry, I'm a bit confused because when I right click, right? When I right click, I get my player controller and I set this container reference to that. I print so much stuff. You start checking your storage with mainline key. Okay, fine, but then why the window doesn't pop up? The window doesn't pop up. After this change I did, the window doesn't pop up, which is a bit annoying. I mean, I can revert it back, but it's a bit annoying. It's a bit annoying that I have to redo it, but just to test if that's the problem, but maybe. Just wondering why. I mean, what is the difference between, you know, between this and what we had before, which was basically this, which was get player pawn, cast to PS character BP, and then get container, and then this one was going here, right? So this is how it was. This is how it was. I mean, we can see if this way it works, but if it works, fine, but I don't understand why. We can test if this way works, okay? For the storage. Let's see if for the storage it works. So we restore the variable on PS character to be used instead of the one on Planeship player controller. I'm very confused of why there should be a difference, but probably there is a difference. Because when I right click on a character, right, it's changing my target. So get target object is returning the NPC, which is fine. But my pawn and my client are still player 0 and pawn 0, so I don't understand the difference, you know. So it's still I'm on the client side and I'm asking to open up a storage window. I don't get why it should be different. I don't understand it. Yeah, now it works. Interesting problem, boys. Interesting problem. Interesting problem. So why? Fuck, the problem is that I did the change in so many places and now I have to redo it, basically. I have to revert it back. I can revert it with SVN, but I don't know which other changes I did since the creation of the guild window. I would like to understand why this variable is not working. Why this W container ref is different than this W container ref. This W container ref is initialized here, and is initialized with get player controller, get planching player controller, W container ref, and this setting as that, right? That is in the construction of the UI. So let me try to do something else. Let me try to do this, because the construct is a bit in a stupid moment. Let me try to do on the storage window. Let me try to do this instead. Okay. Let me try to do this. Which I'm expecting to be identical, but you know. Okay, I saved it, huh? I saved it. Because the problem is that the initialization of the construct, when you do event construct, I don't know if we already have the player. Well, actually we have it because we are inside the... I'm not sure though. I'm not 100% sure. So if it works now, it's much better. If it doesn't work now, I don't know. I have a big question mark on the top of my head. If it doesn't work now, I have a big question mark on the top of my head. Okay, it works now. Okay, that's much better. So it's only the fact that the event construct is fucked up. Okay, well, that's okay. That's okay and shows the fact that we should not do it in the event construct. Okay, that's fine. This I like. Okay, this I like. Okay. So the problem was not my change overall, but the problem was just the change in this particular Interact UI, where setting this variable in the event construct seems not to be proper. So my suggestion will be to just use this technique everywhere and not use this W reference anymore. It's true that I have to call it from every single function, which is a bit annoying, but I prefer to have it this way, right? And remove this variable. And not use the one on Planeship player character, on the PS character, right? So we are using the one on the controller, which is the one that we originally wanted to use. I mean, they wanted to use, right? So it's the change that I did today, and it's the change I did today. So this one is not working anymore. So this one, okay. Okay. And we have the same issue on the close UI, but again, I prefer to have it this way that it works then. The weird thing is that if I was using the one on the player pawn, it was actually working, which is what makes me really wonder how is that possible? What is the difference between those two variables? So now basically everything should work again. If I understood it right, everything should work again, and we are using the right variable, the one on player controller and not the one on player character, right? In player pawn, I mean. So I think it's fine. So this should be working. The problem that we did a number of changes also in other places, but I think it should be fine. We should check the spell window. If the spell window actually pops up, we should check the loot window to see if it pops up. Well, actually, I think the spell window is because all the other windows were working basically the same. It was the same piece of code copied over and over. So if I go in my spell window, yeah, it pops up properly. The research window seems not to be open properly. Wasn't this button the research window? I think it was. Let me just double check in the spell book. Okay, this is just because I forgot to connect. This is just because I forgot to connect this. But it's okay. It's my mistake. Let's just check if the spell window works, and then I think we are fine. So I think our change then was good. I don't have any more the question mark on the top of my head, so which is nice. Yes, okay, it opens up okay now. Okay, yeah. So using that variable is the right way. Okay, so using that variable is the right way to do it. Now, by the way, why is always night? Why I cannot just set in the database so that it's day and that's it? Which is probably easier. Let me check our server options. Server options. Game time 12. Okay. Apply. Okay. So next time we start, it should be day. Okay, so that change is good. The change is done and is good. I'm happy about it. Our spell, let's say the information of the guild was actually published properly, at least in the first tab. Then what we have to do, we have to design the other tabs and then see why it's not switching between the different windows. But I think that's a minor thing. But is yeah, something we need to check. So we will have to design. We designed this one, right? Which is panel settings. I think we can in the same way. Well, it is a bit of a mess because panel settings actually. Panel member should be outside of this. Panel settings. I'm a bit confused of what is this, but panel permission, panel alliance. Okay, so these are the different panels that are exactly the same level. Okay. There is this spacer, which I don't know if we need or we don't need. For now I will leave it. So here we have all our UI elements. So I think I can just hide the grid main. I think is not needed. Yeah, this grid is not needed. So I think we will have to create all the others. Okay, so we will have to create. It goes inside or no? No, it doesn't go inside. So it's members permission. The sequence is member permissions. Okay. Member permission alliances, right? That is the sequence. Huh? Okay. Setting member permission alliances. So the next one that we have to create is the members panel, right? And ensure that we populate this member panel as well. So I think what we can do, we can just hide this one, yes, you see, because this visibility is very nice. You can hide this one and show members, right, which is here. And members actually is a bit more complex because members is, where is my paint? Member is actually having a scrollable list, is having this information like online only, 12 members, blah blah blah, invite, leave, all these buttons. So it will be all of that. So we can start to create it, but then I think I have to go because it starts to be late. But anyway, I think we did some progress. We also find some, improved a bit the code. So let me put this inside checkbox. So this checkbox will be, can I move it? Yes, I can. This checkbox will be check online. Online only. Okay, this one. Then we will have a text with the number of members. This one also will be 16 and so on. Okay, I think I will continue to design this window. So this one will be, I have to put a text into it, right? This is how it works. This also will be like 16. And this one will be online only. Okay. And this will be, for example, 0 members. Okay. And this one we will update as we go. And then there is invite and lead, which there are two buttons very similar to the one that we have here. I think I can copy paste it. So there is something that is called invite and something that is called leave, which I don't know if it's leave from the guild, probably. Okay. So this will be button invite in terms of names. Always good to name all the buttons. Button leave. Okay. So this what will be, and then here in the middle we will have a scrollable box. So a scrollable panel. So I think for this one we need a scroll box, which goes inside of this. And here we will have our list of members, right? With name, last name, and we'll have to design a widget. We will have to design a widget which is basically one line, okay? One line for one person. And then we need notify when members log in, log out. And then there are a number of other elements like this. This one is called notify when members log in, log out. Okay. So this is 16. Notify when members log in, log out. Okay. Yeah, the proportion are not exactly the same as we call check notify, and then we have a number of buttons at the bottom. Remove, edit level, edit points, public node, private node, there is mark GP. Okay, which is all the ones. So I think we should probably place it on 2 lines. So this will be remove, edit level, this button, remove. I cannot name it as I want. Hello, Familiar Zero. Welcome. Long time no see. Yeah, somehow, yes. I mean, it's 1 week I'm not streaming, and before I stream only a few days, and then another week without, and yeah. You can see the schedule anyway in our webpage. If you go to planeshift.it and you go under events, every time you see an Unreal Engine icon is because I'm streaming Unreal. Okay, and you see that here there were like 2 weeks in which I didn't stream. October was better, so there were like 5, 6, 7, 8 streams. September I think was also a bit empty. August was good. Depends a bit. It depends a bit on the time I have. You know, it's not very regular at the moment, but I would like to make it more regular. But actually, I also have a job, so I cannot really stream all day. I mean, all evenings. I cannot do it so regularly, but it's okay. We made a lot of progress. I don't know where you left, but we actually made a lot of progress. A lot of stuff is working now. A lot of stuff is working. A lot of UI has been made and created, and so yeah. We are at stream 124. I don't know where you left. But it is the 124th stream that we do. I don't know, the last time you checked, what was the number? Edit points. Edit points. Yeah, but I think I will go anyway. I will finish this window. You can watch, by the way, all the recordings because they are all on YouTube. I mean, not that you have to watch them all because it would be impossible. It's like 300 hours. I don't suggest you to do it. But if you want just to look at the titles, something like that, you will see which kind of things we did, you know, the different areas. And if you just like watch maybe the beginning of the video, usually at the beginning I do a kind of a recap of what I was doing. So this is probably what you can do, but yeah. There is a public nodes, private nodes, and edit max GP. Okay. I'm having fun doing this anyways. It's pretty fun. Unreal Engine is good, and I really like making progress on the porting, and you know that one day we will see plane shift in private nodes. We will see plane shift in Unreal Engine. I think it's very exciting. It opens up so many possibilities for us. Is fun. I mean, still is an MMO. So I mean, trying to make an MMO in the spare time is a very bad idea. But anyway, you know, an MMO is not something you can do in the spare time. We cannot did it though. I mean, we cannot did it. It took us like 15 years, but we cannot did it. Now doing it again is still possible. Okay, there's a bit too many buttons, but I don't like the layout too much, but it's okay. We will fix it somehow. Okay, so this will be the second page. So the first page will be the first page. The first page is this, right? When you click on settings, then the second page is this, which is the one with the members, and then we need to create two more, and then connect all these buttons to the functionality, which is server side. Okay, so I think what I will do, I will just check in everything I did, because anyway it's working, so it's not blocking anyone from progressing. Actually, I didn't update my SVN before starting, which is a very bad idea, but I think that only is Way working on it, and I think he only worked on the graphical side, so there should be no clashes. I don't think it changed. Let me see, yeah, there is a bunch of updated stuff, deleted stuff, updated stuff. Wow, all the works Way. Thank you for that. Yes, but you see are all just the characters and stuff that I didn't touch at all. So which is great. So now we are up to date. Now I can check in my stuff. So I will do a commit. Default engine, I think I didn't change anything relevant. Well, I moved that to log. Okay, I can check it in anyways, no problem. Controller, yes. Character, yes. Window, yes, because I added the guild window. Container, yes. All of this stuff I changed. These two we don't need. And then all these changes. So what we did, we basically added guild manager. Which is compiling at the moment, and designed, and also we added the window guild, and we made the first panel with the basic guild data working. So yeah, I made the first panel with basic guild data. This is already working. If you issue the window pops up if you issue the command /guild info in the chat window. Okay, so if you say /guild info yes, /guild info no, whatever it is, so it's popping up the window. Okay, I think we can check in all of this. And if some of you have access to SVN and wants to test it, it would be nice, so that we know if it's actually working. Good. With that said, I think I will go tomorrow. I don't know. I don't have a fixed schedule for streaming at the moment, because I'm doing also other stuff, and I'm not really regular. But if I can, I will stream tomorrow. If you will not see me, don't be sad. I will be here again one day. Don't worry. We will make progress sooner or later. Okay. With that said, thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.